Hey everyone. So I'll kind of address the elephant in the room first. This is one of those rice heating packs. I think I slept on my neck funny because it hurts to turn a certain way and to like lift my head up for the laying down position. I don't know what happened, so ignore this. I'm just applying heat. But anyway, I'm here to answer all of your guys' questions. And you guys asked some really good questions this month, so I'm super excited to answer them. Just like last time, I haven't really like thought ahead on them, so you're going to see my raw thought process. So here we go. So I'm going to start with Mark's questions that I totally missed last month because I'm the worst. So I'm going to get those done first. So, if I could take one actor's filmography and make it my own, what would it be? Or who would it be? And what would I have done differently? It's a really good and really tough question. I mean, in terms of, I guess, range, I suppose, I would say Natalie Portman. I mean, her performance in V for Vendetta really stands out for me because that was so intense. She went the whole 9 yards, and that's really inspiring. But she's also done, Black Swan, and she did so many other amazing movies. I mean, she was Padme, like, hello. So I just think she has so much range, and that would be really, really cool. What would I have done differently? I honestly don't know if I would have done that much differently. I think Star Wars could have been better, but I don't know if that was necessarily her fault, But she would be cool to have the filmography of. If I could choose 5 movies or characters to begin my filmography, what would they be and why? By this question, I'm assuming, like, what characters or films would I like to have on my resume if they were my resume? And if that's not it, let me know. But that's kind of how I'm seeing the question right now. That is so hard. Holy smokes, that's a great question, Mark. A Marvel movie. I don't know which one. I think that would be cool, just to be some sort of Marvel character. There, you said movie or character. Being a Marvel character or a DC character, but probably Marvel since that seems to be more of a hit right now in terms of film. That would be really cool. I'd also love to do, gosh. So we have a Marvel character. I'd love to do a villain because that'll show some, some flexibility and range. What villain? I don't know. I'd also love a horror film. That would be cool range. And let's see, a romance would be definitely a challenge, and I think that would be a blast and really hard, honestly. So that would be neat. And then the 5th one, probably voice acting for a movie, honestly, because I've done voice acting for a video game, but doing it for a movie I think would be a really cool challenge. So those are 5 character or movie types that I would love to have in my filmography. The why mostly being range. I like a good challenge, and I think those would be a great challenge. And this is getting very warm, so I'm going to remove it. I'm sorry, it's a little red. Great questions, Mark. And then your question from this month was, what is more important to you, book smarts or street smarts? I really can't choose one over the other. I think having both in a good ratio is important. But if we were to like go the extremes of someone who's super like book smart and incredibly socially not smart versus someone who's socially smart but dumb as a box of rocks. I think I think social smarts probably. I think book smarts are really, really important, obviously. And I think an intelligent brain is an incredibly attractive thing. I think it would be easier to navigate the world with social smarts than book smarts, so that's probably why I would choose it. And of course, both can be learned. I feel like social smarts are almost harder to learn though, you know? So I think if somebody has social smarts to begin with, the book smarts could be taught. But I don't know. I would prefer someone with a good ratio between the two. It's a great question. What are my thoughts on the Seahawks season so far? To be honest, I haven't really been watching it that much. I've been a terrible Seahawks fan lately. I just haven't had a lot of time. But from what I heard from the last game, which went really well, they're doing okay. I know it's a different season for them because there's so many changes. I just hope Russell has a good, healthy season. Update on Ivy. As you saw from my Instagram story posts, she's great. She was so much fun to wear, you guys. Like, she was comfortable, which was so nice. But I also felt very elegant having that long sheer skirt. It added movement. You know, the wig was great, and having the flowers in the hair was a really nice touch, I think. I just really, really loved it, and it was really well received by everybody, which was great. It was amazing, honestly. I don't necessarily want to say I enjoy that one more than the original, but it's definitely more comfortable, so there's that. But I had so much fun making it and so much fun wearing it, and it was very well received, so I'm hoping to do it again sometime soon. Tips for managing stress and how to do self-care. Wow. This is a loaded question because my stress has been pretty through the roof lately, to be totally honest. It's caused my blood pressure to be extremely low and my heart rate to be extremely high at resting, which means every time I stand up, I get dizzy. And I'm not asking for sympathy, it's just a stress reaction. Sometimes people's blood pressure goes up, sometimes it goes down, and mine goes down, apparently. So that's been tough, but stress is one of those things where it can come from so many different areas, and there's positive stress and negative stress, and they're both stressful. Like, you know, someone could be getting married, and that could be really stressful, but it's a good thing, but it's still stressful. Or someone could, you know, God forbid, have the death of a loved one. That's really stressful and negative, of course. There's so many stresses we can experience in life, and it really is a mixed bag for me right now. I have a lot of really good and bad stress. And when it comes to managing it, you just have to know your boundaries, know your limits. They're not weaknesses, they're limits. And it's a strength to know your limits, because if you pass those, it's so much harder to rebound and come back. And so I'd say adding in self-care would be a great way to manage stress. And when it comes to self-care, you really have to schedule it into your schedule. Otherwise, you won't do it. We're creatures of habit, and if we don't make self-care a habit, and if we don't write it down, we probably won't do it. So finding what makes you happy, what makes you feel relaxed at the end of the day, and making sure that's a priority for you is really, really important. Whether that's working out, taking a bath, hanging out with friends, you know, for me, doing my nails, you know, something like that. Finding something as self-care is really, really important to schedule into your work week. Great question. What's on my bucket list? You know, I don't actually have a physical or digital bucket list, but there's so many things that I do want to do. The first one that comes to mind is just one that comes up a lot in conversations, which is I would love to ride on the back of a motorcycle. I just feel like that would be a blast and such an adrenaline high. But I'd also love to travel the world. I really want to go to Ireland, if you guys didn't catch that already. I'd also, you know, love to visit so many other places in the world. You know, Ireland, France, Germany, Spain, definitely. I'd love to go to Japan. Within the US, I'd love to go to Hawaii. I want to visit New York. There's so many places I want to go, so traveling is on my bucket list. Gosh, also on my bucket list would be to be an extra in a movie. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but that would be so cool. Lastly, do I have a fan mail address or P.O. box? And that's an awesome question. I don't. I was thinking about getting a P.O. box a while ago, and I looked into like cost, and they're pretty expensive. At least where I was looking for a year to have a P.O. box is like $300 or something like that. That's a lot of money and I just can't quite justify it right now. So no, I don't really have a fan mail address or P.O. box. And of course my personal address I don't really give out. That's why I have an Amazon wish list where it's anonymous. But let me know if I should find a way to get some sort of a fan mail address or P.O. box or something like that, if that's something that you feel like you or someone else would be interested in. And I can try to look up avenues just to see if something is both cost effective and efficient. But that's an awesome question. And those are all the questions that I got from you guys this month, and they were amazing questions. And I'm probably going to be thinking about the movie questions for like a while now. Thanks, Mark. But excellent questions this month, you guys. I had so much fun at Geek Girl Con. I think it was a little overpriced, to be honest, but it was a really cool convention. I loved seeing everybody, and I loved being Autumn Ivy there. It was so much fun, and I felt really, really good being Ivy. I've got more coming your guys' way. I have 2 more create your own photos to do, and I'm gonna try to get those out soon, probably within the next week or 2 if I can. One I'll be shooting in my house, and I'll be shooting it, so I should be able to get that in a fairly reasonable amount of time. The other one I'll be shooting elsewhere, so that might take a little bit longer, but it will happen. So the 2 of you who are waiting on your create your owns, don't worry, I've got them in my schedule and they will happen. And for the rest of you, thank you so much for your guys' continued support. I hope you enjoy this video. Also, let me know if you were able to tune into my live stream on Instagram, which was such a weird experience, but really, really cool, and I'd love to do it more often as well. And if you guys want, like, early access isn't the right word, but like an earlier heads up so you can tune in, I'd love to see you guys on my live streams too. That would make me so happy and feel really comfortable because I feel like I know you guys better. So I think that wraps it up for today. I hope you all are doing better than I am, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.